The Detroit Lions roster cuts have finally begun as Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have finally started announcing roster moves, and we released 10 players today, and there are some shockers in here. To start off, now I did make a short about these two players, but obviously I'm still going to talk about it because I didn't really leave my thoughts in it. But here, first release the cuts is wide receiver Kaden Davis. According to Jordan Schultz, the Lions are releasing wide receiver Kaden Davis per source. The former D2 star flashed during preseason for Detroit and looks to find a new home before the season. And like I said in my short, he very well will, whether that's with us or with a different team. I don't know if he's a 53-man guy, but he is a great practice squad type of guy. He could very well be like the next Tom Kennedy, where he's just on every practice squad known to man, every single season. So I mean, it really does suck. He was one of the three big body receivers that we had. Him, Donavon-Peoples Jones, and Reese Fountain are the three big bodies. I mean, you can kind of consider Jalen Calhoun a big body. I personally don't, because he's a little bit more on the skinny side. And big bodies to me, like in that case scenario, you could also call Jameson Williams a big body, if you go off of that. If you go off of just height instead of the size as well. Now, talked about this one as well. This one really hurts me. According to Dov Cleveland, the Lions are releasing wide receiver Donavon-Peoples Jones per also Jordan Schultz. This one is painful. A lot of Lions fans were hating on the guy. I don't understand why. Yes, was it a wasted draft pick? Yes, it was. But we took a risk. Brad Holmes has taken lots of risks. And this is now the third wide receiver trade that has not worked out. Now, one of them doesn't really count. We traded for Donavon-Peoples Jones last offseason. We traded, I think we traded a conditional 6th-round pick. We got Donavon-Peoples Jones and a 7th-round pick in return. But that trade didn't go through because Denzel Mims had to make the team for that to go through. So we didn't give up anything. They didn't give up anything. But I'm still, if you count that, Brad Holmes is 0 for 3 on wide receiver trades. DPJ, Trinity Benson, and Donavon-Peoples Jones. Oh, the Trinity Benson one was so bad. Don't understand why we gave up that many. Because if I'm not mistaken, we gave up 2 6th-round picks for the guy when he never played a snap in an NFL regular season game. But again, Donavon-Peoples Jones, best luck to him. He will definitely find a home somewhere else. And no, he's not a practice squad guy. He's definitely a 53-man roster guy. He is a good wide receiver 5 for sure. I'm still a little bit shocked that he was the second cut that the Lions had made. I'm a little bit shocked that he was that quick. That means the first 2 cuts that we made were both receivers and both 2 of the 3 biggest wide receivers we had on the team. So, in my opinion, those are the only 2 receivers we released today. And in my opinion, we are for sure looking at a wide receiver. There was a lot of roster cuts today for receivers. Sterling Shepard got released. Russell Gage got released. Tim Patrick is going to be released if the Broncos can't find a trade partner. A lot of people are looking at John Mechie for a trade, and I think Brad Holmes could be one of them because he's an Alabama guy. He played with J-Mo. And Robert Woods, didn't hear anything about Robert Woods today, about him potentially getting released or traded. But again, I could potentially see us trading for him because of the Jared Goff connection, and he would bring veteran leadership to that wide receiver room, which we don't really have besides Khalif Raymond. So that's my thoughts on that. But again, Donavon-Peoples Jones, best of luck, man. I've always had this man's back when he was on Cleveland as well. Go back to my short I made about a year ago. I said that he was one of the most underrated receivers in the league, and I still think he is, but not to that extent. Now, according to Tom Pelissero, I don't know why his undid that. The Lions are waiving tight end Shane Zylstra per source. He's fully healthy after missing last season because of knee surgery and had 6 catches this preseason. 1 to watch on waivers for sure. Now, in my opinion, even though Donavon-Peoples Jones, that one hurts the most for me, this is the most shocking one. Because I thought for sure, even though I've never been that big of a fan of Shane Zylstra, that he was going to be tight end 3 or he was just going to make the roster as a tight end. Whether that's tight end 3 to 4. But this essentially means, you see it on the thumbnail, that I believe James Mitchell is getting that tight end 3 role, or they're just going to stick with Parker Hess. And I do think Parker Hess makes this team now for sure. He was actually the 54th guy on my 53-man roster prediction. On the last one, he's my 54th guy. I had him on there, but I was one over, so I had to get rid of him, put him on the practice squad. But it looks like Parker Hess is going to make the team as a fullback tight end, whatever you want to call it. He's 100% a blocking tight end, though. He's not a receiving tight end whatsoever. But James Mitchell looks like he's going to secure that tight end 3 spot over Shane Zylstra, which surprises me. Now, he did get waived, which means if he passes through waivers, the Lions have the option to bring him back. And I don't think he can do anything about it. I'm almost 100% confident on that. I should know this stuff, and I know this is correct. If he passes through waivers, he doesn't have a choice. If the Lions decide to pick him up, they can pick him up. But if the Lions don't decide to pick him up when he goes through waivers, then he's just a free agent. And if he gets picked up on waivers by a different team, he doesn't have a choice either. He just has to go there. If a player is being released, that means they don't have to go through the waiver process. He can negotiate with any team he wants. He can sign with any team he wants. And he does not get claimed by whatever team. That's how it is. So Zylstra has the chance to come back to the Detroit Lions. He probably will if he passes through waivers. I don't know if he will. The tight end free agency market right now is really bad. I don't know who got released today in the tight end market. I know CJ Uzama got released a couple days ago. I think the Lions could target him as a new third-string tight end. I put that on my Twitter today. Go follow my Twitter. I post all the latest Lions news on there and rumors surrounding the Detroit Lions, so go check that out. It's in the description. And we got another one here. This one, of course, doesn't shock anybody. Tom Pelissero, the Lions released cornerback Rashad Wilders per source. I love the name. I actually thought the guy didn't play bad for being on the team for 2 days, but again, he was released, so he's not going to go through the waiver process. So there's no way he will be back as a Detroit Lion. So his 2-day, 3-day span as a Detroit Lion has come to an end. No surprises there. Here's an interesting one though. I had this guy on my practice squad. According to Aaron Wilson, Lions are waiving versatile center / guard Brian Hudson per league source. Should draw interest around the NFL. 100% he will. He is also being waived. I do think once he passes through waivers, he will return to our practice squad. The fact that he can play center and guard, and I thought he did a solid job in the preseason. Not a big shocker here, though, whatsoever. He wasn't going to make the 53, especially when he was playing with the second and third team. And this was actually from Adam Schefter, surprisingly. Lions are waiving defensive end Mitchell Agadu, who spent last season on their practice squad. No shockers here. A little bit of Lions fans are a little bit surprised by this. I'm not. I'm really not. Mitchell Agadu had a very good camp. He didn't have a very good preseason, though, in my opinion. He just didn't do anything. Like, he didn't do anything bad. He just didn't do anything that caught my eye. He did get waived again, so he will most likely... I do think he will return to the practice squad, since we've essentially been developing the guy for a year and a half now. I guarantee we'll put him on our practice squad and try to develop him again this year to potentially have a role next year. Now, this one is no surprise either, but the second part of this is surprising to me. According to Jordan Schultz, the Lions are releasing defensive end Pat O'Connor per source. Detroit is hoping to bring O'Connor, who won a Super Bowl in Tampa, back to its practice squad after he made a number of plays during the preseason. Now, I didn't see a lot of Pat O'Connor. Like, I saw him on the field, but I didn't see a lot of stuff that caught my eye on Pat O'Connor in the preseason. So I don't really know about that, but he looks like he's going to go through. He's going to... Now, he is being released, so the Lions don't have to wait through waivers. They'll probably just sign him to their practice squad. So I'm a little bit surprised that I don't know how long you have to wait after you get released before you can sign with the team's practice squad. I'm assuming it's only probably like 24 hours or something like that. So I would say by tomorrow night or Wednesday, Pat O'Connor will be back on the practice squad. So don't hate that move whatsoever. Obviously, He's good depth, veteran, teach the young guys. Not mad at whatsoever. He's essentially a John Kaminsky 2.0, just a little bit not as good. I mean, he plays just like John Kaminsky. And we have another one here. We don't have many more here. Got, I believe, 2 more here. This is from Dave Burkett. Lions cut Tai Summers, who had a really nice game Saturday against the Steelers. He should get a look elsewhere for sure. For sure. Now, he said cut. I don't know if that means released or waived. I'm assuming it means he's got released. That's usually what it means when they use cut. But this really, really does suck. I had the guy making the 53-man roster as my 52nd guy. I thought he had a fantastic 2-game preseason. And I think if he would have had that 3rd game with us in week 1, he would for sure make this team. Hopefully he'll go back to the practice squad. I think the guy has a lot of potential. He's not super old. I believe he's 29. So he's not super old. Really hope he gets an opportunity, though, because he absolutely balled. He was probably the biggest standout on defense for me this preseason besides Isaac Unkwoo. And this was the last cut of the day for the Detroit Lions. This one came out a little bit later. From Dave Burkett, the Lions have a new long snapper. The Lions are cutting veteran long snapper Scott Daly and going with rookie long snapper from Idaho, Hogan Hatton. Now, the Idaho's kicker said Hogan Hatton. The Lions got a good one on him, best long snapper in the league. And hopefully Hogan Hatton can become the Don Mulback 2.0. But I really like that a lot. On my Twitter account, I said I really like this a lot because Hogan Hatton is way more versatile than Scott Daly. And also, he can play multiple positions, as Hogan Hatton, as well as long snapper, played linebacker in college. And he actually played a little bit of linebacker in the preseason as well. So, essentially, you have an extra linebacker on your team as well. He's also about 6 years younger than Scott Daly. So, I really like this. I thought he was snapping well during the preseason. So, that was the one that I was the most happy for, as Hogan Hatton is our new long snapper, and he is for sure the first UDFA to make this team. And I think I read something that we have kept our streak alive now of UDFAs of making an initial 53-man roster. I believe this is the 16th or 15th consecutive year we've had at least one UDFA make the initial 53-man roster. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Probably more of a bad thing, but I mean, UDFAs, there's a lot of UDFAs who end up becoming really good players in this league. Now, this wasn't a release, but I want to put this out here as well. This isn't shocking to anybody. According to Adam Schefter, this was very early today. Lions are placing cornerback Emmanuel Mosley on IR, and he is eligible to come back this season. They are also keeping guard Christian Mahogany on the NFI list, and he is eligible to return after 4 games. No, not shocked here at all. I don't know why I had Christian Mahogany on the 53-man roster instead of NFI. I should have done that because that kind of messes everything up now. So, if I was to redo my 53-man roster, not do any of the cuts today, and just put Mahogany on NFI and put an extra offensive lineman on the team, it'd be between Sorsdahl and KO. It'd probably be KO because KO's the guard. But yeah, Mahogany will miss 4 games, should be back after that. But that's no shock. Mosley going on IR is no shock either. I told you if he's going to get placed on IR during roster cuts, he won't miss the whole entire season, so that's good. But that's the reason why I brought this up specifically is because nobody's talking about this. I've not seen one Lions fan talk about this, and maybe I'm tripping here, but I don't think I am. John Kaminsky did not get placed on IR. Unless if I'm tripping and he already did get placed on IR a couple of weeks ago when he got hurt. But I'm about 99.9% sure he did not get placed on IR. And does that mean the Lions are thinking about releasing, if he has not been placed on IR, John Kaminsky? Does that potentially mean he will no longer be a Detroit Lion tomorrow? Or, this is the other way, is the injury not as bad as people thought, in that he will return actually very quickly and come back around week 6, week 7 territory? Could also see that happening. But the fact that he has not been placed on IR, because if he got placed on IR today, that would save an extra roster spot from happening. And again, I could be tripping here, so don't quote me on this. But I think if he did not get placed on IR, there's about a 90% chance that John Kaminsky is not on this team tomorrow. I'm just putting that out there. The fact that Emmanuel Mosley got placed on IR today and John Kaminsky did not is a little bit surprising to me. I wanted to put that out there because I did not hear any other Lions fan or any other Lions guy talking about that. So I just want to put that out there. But roster cuts will happen tomorrow. Again, obviously tomorrow's the deadline. I believe it's 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But the Lions don't usually put out their official releases and everything like that until about 6 o'clock Eastern Time. We got it definitely late last year, so I expect to get it late again this year. But from all the other sources and stuff like that, we should already know most of the guys who will be released. But I believe we're down to 80 now or something like that, which means... No, I think we're a little bit less than that. I think we're like 78 or somewhere around there, which means we still have... Actually, no, I read something today that we have 20 more roster cuts to make or somewhere around there. So tomorrow's going to be a lot of players. We cut 10 players today, so it's going to be double the amount tomorrow we're going to have to make. Don't be surprised if we make a bigger signing or trade tomorrow either as well, as we do need a wide receiver. Our wide receiver room is very bad right now. Darius Fountain also posted a cryptic tweet today. He just said, wow. I don't know if that was going off of wow, that he was shocked that Kaden Davis or DPJ got waived, or if he's shocked that, he thinks he's making this team, or they told him he's making this team, or if he's shocked because he already got released and the Lions just haven't announced it or something. I don't know. A lot of speculation around that. It's Darius Fountain, though. It's not that big of a deal. He's a practice squad guy. Very underwhelming during the preseason. But leave your thoughts, comments down below. Do you agree with these moves? What would you change if you were Brad Holmes? And who do you think the Lions should target in free agency after cut day or in the waiver wire? One Pride, go Lions.